Cora here, and welcome to my channel, CorasAtHerCorner. Now today is actually a book review. Now, why would I do a book review? Well, first of all, I do love to read. I love books. And second of all, I've actually written 5 myself. The 5th one coming out at the end of March of 2023. Now, I'm an independent author. I'm not no Stephen King, but I do know the process and what all goes into making a book. Now, why haven't I not reviewed a book before? Well, let's see. First off, we have the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer Armentrout. Well, that was 4 books that she's got out in that series so far, and it took me 6 weeks to read. There's the Kingston Family series, which inspired me to write the Complicated Love series. There's the Receiver of Many series by another independent author, Rachel Alexander, which is one of the very few authors that actually inspired me to actually take the motivation and write a book. We also have Scarlett St. Clair's Hades and Persephone series, along with the Hades series, which is Persephone's point of view and then Hades' point of view, which are the books that I have an infatuation with a minor character.
Never have I ever had a crush on a fictional character from a book named Hermes.
But why not review these books? That is because I'm a romance novel lover, and that's what I like to read. And my audience for scam baiting and messing with scammers doesn't really click together. However, the book I am reviewing today actually may have some interest for my audience on YouTube, and that is Scam: How to Avoid the Scams That Cost Victims Billions of Dollars Every Year by Hope OJ. So this ain't no review on I'm glad my mom died. This is not even a review on what should it be called, I'm sad my mom died. But let's do this book review, and here we go. Now, she actually came to me letting me know about this book, and if I would have known about this book sooner, I probably would have sent it off to some of my relatives, especially ones that don't use the internet very often or don't get on the internet at all. So obviously I got curious and I looked up on Amazon because it's one of the bigger sellers of books, and I decided to see what I could find in the scam books section, and I didn't find very many. So books like this actually do need to be advertised more out there. Honestly, they need to be free available in libraries as well. The more you are educated, the more you know, the less likely you are to fall for a scam. So I took the time and I read it, and I did do some notes, so I will go through over real quick my thoughts about this book and come to a conclusion. First off, I want to start with, we have the table of contents. I know you can't really read it on the camera, but I will say I do love how all of this is laid out. Not only does it go by chapters, but it goes under chapter 2, every scam that she had put in this book, on what page, everything. They go into details. So this, in my opinion, if you are not around a computer often, like my mother, this would be perfect to, if you get a call and you're not sure, look it up in here, flip to it, should be able to find it. It honestly reminds me of a book that I had gotten from my great grandmother before she passed. The one she gave me was what you could find in the Bible, and I like the way it was laid out. It was laid out like this, like if you were curious about something, you just look up the chapter and you would read it. I don't know what happened to that book. It could have gotten lost in one of my moves. My mom could have it, I don't know, but I do like how this is laid out like that. I love that. So in the beginning of this book, she actually does go into a little bit about how she got into scam baiting. She ended up coming across it in 2020, and we all know how that was. Though, and I will say this too, don't recommend you picking up the phone when a scammer calls. She herself would be scam baiting them, and I totally get that because I do the same thing. Sometimes my real phone will go off and I will pick them up just to mess with them. She talks about how she did waste between 20 and 30 minutes of their time, and then she compared it to where Kit Boga goes on for hours, which is understandable because just like her, I don't have a virtual machine either. And even Kit Boga has suggested if you don't know how to do something, don't do it. I would have to learn how to do a virtual machine before I were to use it. She does talk about how she wanted to bring awareness with this book, which, like I said, the way it's let out, I think it's perfect. But writing a book like this was definitely a good idea because I actually come from a small little Amish town. And let me tell you, they don't really know much about these scams. My mother, she doesn't even have internet. So this would be perfect for her, and I probably will send her a copy because I kind of want to keep this for myself. And she even said this in here, it's good to be informed, because I've even had family members who were almost scammed or were scammed with complete access to the internet. Now the intro just goes into how damaging the scam industry can be, which is a lot, and the fact that anybody is a potential victim. They usually run on a couple things such as hurrying, so being rushed, and vulnerability and emotions. They run on things like that. The first mentioned scam is the infamous Nigerian prince scam, the one that probably started all the email scams. She does talk about how it has changed a little bit time and time again. They replaced the prince with some other important figure, such as a foreign diplomat. She goes on to the romance scam, and she went into great detail on how they target and trick their victims and how they play with the victim's emotions. She does talk then about the compromised card scam, where you get a call saying your card has been compromised. This one does get tricky because sometimes credit cards and sometimes banks will call you and tell you your card's been compromised, that there's a problem with your account. The best thing to do if you are ever unsure about it, I had this happen one time with a credit card. As it had come out of the blue, I did hang up on him, and I called back and to find out that was actually the credit card company. That's probably the best thing you can do if you think your card's being compromised. I actually haven't really seen many people talk about this, but sometimes I will get a call saying that my card's been compromised and I have to call the number back, and what you do is when you call it back, to unlock your card, they want you to put your card number in. Well, what they're doing is they're stealing your credit card information. If you ever get your card compromised, there will be no automatic system to unlock it. You will have to talk with the person. She also talks about unemployment benefit scams. It is easy to target somebody in that situation because the scammers will say they will help you access your benefits, but really they're not. Sometimes you'll even get an email and it's got a shady website it takes you to. Don't ever click on those. But it is easy to target people in that situation because you're without a job and you don't know what's to come. So they play, once again, on those emotions. She does go into great detail about the Cash App Venmo scam. The best way to do it is to always go to your app and check to see if anything's changed. If not, it's definitely a scam. Sometimes with Cash App or Venmo, you'll get a scam through an email to say click this link. Don't click it. Just go straight to the website, straight to the app, and you should be able to look at it without clicking on anything. And the same for the PayPal scams. She even goes into detail on how to tell whether it's a scam, if it's shady, or if the email is legit. And this is one of those scams where they're using scare tactics to try to scam you. She also goes into your Facebook account has been hacked scam, which I know someone who fell for it. I've actually fell for it before and changed my information right away before they can get into anything. But what this scammer did to my friend was send her a link saying she's been hacked, that you need to click on this link, and then she put in her information, and because of that, the scammer took that information, locked her out of her account, changed everything, and now she can't get it back. So I don't know anymore what this scammer is doing with her page, but before the scammer decided to block me for calling him out for being a scammer, he was trying to get people to send him, I believe it was the flipping your money scam. So he's like running two scams in one. But that's why it's always to be careful to click on any links. I've actually had one with my Facebook, and I don't know how I got around it, but my Facebook never got hacked, that it claimed that my author page was, I don't remember, it's something like it's been banned and I can't share anything publicly and I can't post any more ads for my books. It was a scam and I should have known because they sent it to the wrong email address. But I still have that page, so we're good. She has in there the love spell scam. Basically, someone will make you a love potion or cast a love spell if you pay them, and then you have to keep paying them. And really, any potion, any spell like that's not going to work. I actually know a practicing Wiccan, and I know actually quite a few, and I believe that's against the Wiccan read. Basically, that love spell's not going to work. Now, she does go into the text scams, and the thing that made me go a little bit was she said there was a little bit of good to them getting into your computer, and I was like, no. But what she meant was the only thing that's good that's going to come out of it is they might download a program called CCleaner and make your computer run a little bit faster, make your phone run a little bit faster, but that's it. Other than that, they can compromise any information they wanted. I'm glad she at least cleared it up that don't do it, but still, I was like, don't do it. But I did download the CCleaner after that. My computer is running a little bit faster. Now, the Roku scams, now that I've read this book, I understand so much more. So what it is a code will pop up on your Roku because you're having problems. And so what do? You gotta look for customer service. So people go online and they will type in, and usually they'll call the first number that pops up. And sometimes the first number that pops up is not always actual customer service. It's a scammer who paid to have their stuff pushed to the top so that way they can scam people for money by offering all these fake deals. Sometimes that was DirecTV, at least. I actually know somebody who wanted to get a hold of, I believe, the post office customer service, or it was UPS. I think it was UPS. And of course, the scammers had put at the top of the page that was the customer service. So this person called them and they got into his computer, and luckily another relative had stepped in, kicked that scammer out of his computer, and nothing was taken, luckily. And then I saw the pyramid schemes part and I was like, love it! Now, when talking about pyramid schemes, it can be connected to multi-level marketing, and when it comes down to critics and commentators, we have to watch what we say, such as in my opinion, because some of those companies are sue hungry. They're money hungry, in my opinion. But she went more towards the traditional, such as the Ponzi scheme. As an example, we're gonna be rich, okay? We're gonna be rich. You're gonna give me $50 and then I'm gonna invest it. And then you recruit 3 people who's going to give you $50, you give me a cut of that, and then they recruit each 3 people, they give them $50, and then you get a cut, and then I get a cut. You know, that's how it goes. And people think that just because you throw in a product, it's legal. In my opinion, look at LuLaRoe. If you haven't heard of LuLaRoe, there's a documentary on, I believe, Amazon Prime called Lula Rich. That will give you all the controversy you need to know, and there's even more than that, according to consultants, and in my opinion. But she does mention with MLMs some of the predatory behavior, and it can get bad. If you ever watch some anti-MLM content, you can sometimes see how bad those calls are. I actually did a reaction to Mac Attack's reaction to a Beachbody call, which is now Body, of a woman pretty much saying to target these special need moms. That's what she did. And as a mother of a former NICU baby, that was disturbing. She even mentioned the Social Security scams, how they can be different in different countries, but they're pretty much the same scam, saying that in America it would be Social Security, your social insurance number in Canada, and so on. And then she goes into the immigration scam, which I was completely unaware. The fact that I was born in the United States and I actually have lived in the same state all of my life, I would not actually know a lot about this. But basically, somebody who's recently moved here, even has been here for a long time, that wasn't born here, they may get a call, and if you don't pay this, we're gonna have to send you back because there's something against you. It's basically that. It can play tricks on somebody who truly is an immigrant, even if they've lived here for 20 years. That's the last thing they want to do, is be forcibly moved, so of course they're gonna fall for it and pay. So the investment scams she's also mentioned, I didn't know much about that one either, but she did go into detail on how you can come across it and how some people could fall for it. And usually when you come across it, it's fake testimonies. And then she went into cryptocurrency scams, something else I don't know very much about because I don't use cryptocurrency. I don't have any investments in it. I'll actually read this so that way it's more understanding. With cryptocurrency, sometimes it can be difficult to understand what you're buying. Anyone with enough technical knowledge can create a new coin or token, artificially inflate the price, convince people to buy while they cash out their gains, and leave everyone else with losses. It is also known as the pump and dump scheme, because the price is pumped by the entities hoping to make a profit and then dumped while they're still in the green. With any investment, it is wise to do your research before diving in. Definitely. One reason why I don't deal with cryptocurrency. With the pop-up scam, she did go into great detail of how that worked and what tactics they used, scare tactics. You've been hacked. I don't care. Just get my computer fixed. Now this one's been around a while, the click to claim your prize scam. I usually avoid them because I always feel like they're spammy, and sure enough, they are. Sometimes it's a trick for you to just keep clicking and accidentally sign up for things with your email. Usually when I used to click that stuff, when they started wanting information, I stopped. No, you don't need my information. I don't need this. Now, electric company scams, she does go over the calls. I will go over my experience. I have had people come here pretending to be the electric company, and they're like, well, we can lower your prices, we just have to see your bill. No. I've even been asked when I just got home, are you the owner of the house that has your name on the electric bill? I'm like, no, my husband does. And then he came back again, and he's like, can you get your husband? I'm like, no, I'm not, he's not here. And then he came back again and was like, well, you could just show me the bill, it doesn't matter. I'm like, no. And what these guys are doing is they're trying to steal your information. I only went through a few of these scams, so check out this book if you want to see all of them. She does go into education and resources. She does mention the 3 that she found on YouTube, I'm pretty sure first, which is Kit Boga, Jim Browning, and Trilogy Media. She put in government websites to check out, and not just for the United States, she did for Canada, she did for the United Kingdom, as these are probably the 3 biggest targeted countries. And I believe I've read somewhere before that the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia are the big 3 countries that are targeted for scams because English is their main languages, and English is the most common language in the world, whether you're speaking fluently or not. Now, she did go through red flags, which is great. It's always good to notice those things. It's good just to be educated on them before any chance of anything happens. Then she has the how to protect yourself from scams. She gives a few tips such as register if you can for the do not call list. In the United States, they definitely do have that. I don't know about the other countries. I am actually registered on the do not call list, so I know when I'm getting a scam call. It also helps that when I moved, the area code changed, but I never changed my phone number, so I know when it's a scam because it'll be my old area code. Every great once in a while, I will get one from this area, and oddly enough, Indianapolis. I don't know. I've been there plenty of times, but I don't know. Another thing you can do is just, if you think you're in a scam, just hang up and stop responding. If you end up getting a call from somebody that asks you for money, don't send money. Them asking for money is more than likely a red flag. Contact your financial institution, such as your bank or your credit card company, if they claim that, you've been charged or that your card's on hold or locked. Don't click any strange links is another one. It's always okay to report the scam. And then always check your computer for viruses and change your passwords. And she said this in the book, the best is just to not interact with them at all. Another one that scared me a little bit is how to get them to leave you alone. The best thing is to not interact them, cut all ties. That's the best thing. But if you insist on scam baiting, which I suggest you not do it, but if you're gonna do it, ask plenty of questions. Like if you're not sure if you're being scammed, definitely ask plenty of questions. I've heard them give me some stupid answers before too. They tell you to get on a smartphone or a laptop, tell them you don't have any. Tell them you're talking on your landline or your flip phone, even though now they're starting to make smartphone flip phones. And you don't have a computer at all. It's hard for them to scam you when you don't have that stuff, but that's still not going to stop them sometimes, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, okay, well, we'll do this. Oh no, I got overcharged, you're going to have to give me $5,000. They'll still try that sometimes. I should try these on scammers sometimes just to see what they would do. Tell them you're contacting the police. Sometimes that doesn't always work because sometimes they know that they're in a different country and they're not going to do much. Say I'm contacting my lawyer. Sometimes they'll hang up. Other times they might be like, well, do it. Do it. You can call them out. Sometimes they'll be jerks and not hang up. Sometimes they will hang up. And then the last one, pretend to fall for it, then reveal. But don't try. If you don't know what you're doing, don't try that. Just don't. You don't want to give out correct information, so it's best just to hang up. I do like this chapter, what to do when you have been scammed, because sometimes people don't know what to do when they've been scammed. A couple people that I know have either been scammed or almost been scammed. They're embarrassed, but the first thing is understand you're not alone. Talking about it actually passes on the knowledge to other people to know what to look out for too. It's okay to talk about it. Number 2 is if you have any information that got out, such as your credit card, your debit card, call those facilities. Let them know, listen, I may have to change this is what happened, and they will take care of it. They're supposed to, at least. And give them every detail. I didn't know this, but if you sent out a gift card, there's actually the number on the back. You can call them and let them know, hey, listen, I gave this to a scammer, and if the money is still there, I think they can give that back to you. But if it's gone, it's gone. Always file a police report is the next one. They may not be able to do something, but at least they'll have reports just in case. And then once again, tell your friends and family. Let them know, let them be aware. It's okay. And then I like this one too. What can organizations do to help? The first one is grocery and department stores. They talk about signs. These signs, I've seen them. Majority of them are really small and petty. The signs probably need to be bigger. Because especially if it's an old lady who's being scammed, say she's got eye problems. Heck, there's people my age with eye problems. They need to be able to read to see what's going on. As a former cashier, this was back in 2007, but there was no training whatsoever on recognizing when somebody's being scammed. Instead, it's all about making the customer happy and getting that money, I guess you could say. I believe, in my opinion, I think cashiers might now still be more aware, probably because of YouTube, but they do need to have a training class to show these cashiers, oh, this is what to look out for. Even if it's just a 10-minute class on the computer. That's what they made us do anyways. And then I do want to acknowledge CVS. I've bought quite a few gift cards, especially during the Christmas season. And I will say, at CVS now they have on the keypad that making you sign something saying that you're not being scammed. The first time I was like, what? And she goes, yeah. And the cashier actually went into details. They have scammers doing this. And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So I at least give credit to CVS for that. Financial institutions, sometimes certain banks and certain credit card companies, if somebody's being charged money and they don't know it, they don't usually contact you. It's usually when it looks weird, like the person went to Taiwan or something. So they need to be more on that, like that. Anything that looks suspicious. Like if I went on vacation to see my family in Wisconsin and I use my card, I want them to call me to check on me. Honestly, I would. But she even says in her book, it seems like banks and credit cards are more worried about their money than the customer's well-being. And that does need to change. Now the epilogue is just to recap the whole book. I'm glad that she said that there are more scams out there than what's in this book. She just got a decent amount. There are so many scams out there. She probably could write a second book and there'd still be more scams out there. And then we have the appendix, which contains examples of these scripts, of these messages. I'm telling you, I had a field day. Now I'm still editing my latest book. It's almost done. But I'm still fixing things here and there. So my editing brain is still going when I was reading this. I am so glad she kept this in and her editor kept it in the way that it is, because the misspellings for the scammer emails I was laughing. I am so glad they kept those misspellings in there because, I mean, it needs to be known anyways. But sometimes I get a laugh just reading these. I'll just read one. There's a couple here. I'm just going to read one. Hello. I have a colleague who is well established in real estate and he has just decided to invest in websites and apps. Since we have been old friends, he decided I help and guide him to get into it. We are buying all... It's horrible. Instead of a period, like, first of all, that could have been 2 sentences at least. And instead of the period after it, it's a comma. We are buying and investing in other e-com businesses, as well as this is the latest trend, and it is going to keep on growing each year with huge profit potential. We will be making generous offer of $3,000 for the website. You can ignore all other interested parties and attend to us. Am a part-time tech consultant broker, mostly to friends on my side hustle. I have been lucky doing this and have netted some good profits for myself and my friends who have invested in business with my advice. I think that's supposed to be advice. It's spelled wrong. My full name, and that's not even a period, that's a comma. My full name is Holly Coburn, and address, and then the address was omitted, I get it. What I do is we buy a potential online business, invest in it, and grow to a certain level where huge returns is guaranteed, and then we decide to resell them for much higher than we bought it or continue with the business. Wow, there's an actual period in here. We normally invest in the quality of the product being offered, ads, SEO, sometimes influencers, etc., anything that will support and help make the business grow. My colleague is a millionaire who is new to this kind of business and he wants me to guide. Here we go. He wants me to guide and help him out. There's a comma, not a period. For the payment, he said due to bad past experiences, he won't go through Flippa and would like to send the funds directly to you via bank transfer from his bank. I tried convincing him, but was a veteran businessman. He seemed to believe in his old traditional way of doing business, i.e. bank transfer or checks, but I will personally prefer bank transfer to checks due to the long wait time. Where do you breathe, dude? Put a period. For the check to deliver, also for it to clear. Oh, this no comma, no period thing is killing me. I would like to pay you by bank transfer. Most of all the business I would have worked with and made payment via bank transfers. Use QuickBooks payments to send us the invoice, and all approved QuickBooks is the best to use for such transactions, and we have used it for years with no issues compared to the Stripe authorized the rest. Shadow, what are you doing? My dog is making a bed out of all our shoes and coats. With QuickBooks, you won't have to give out your bank account numbers for the funds to be credited. Once the invoice is sent and paid, the money will be credited directly into your bank account. If you don't have QuickBooks, then visit their website and sign up for the trial so we can use their services to pay you and complete this transaction. You will just sign up like you. Once you are set up, we can pay you with bank transfer. We will... It's a comma, not a period. Oh, it's a comma there instead of a period. We would like to close this sale before the end of the next week. Wow, there's a period. I'm surprised. Below is the link that will explain further, and then it's QuickBooks. Kindly sign up with them and get back to me so we can proceed with the payment. Thanks, and best regards. NB, he told me about why you don't want to use Flippa for the transaction. He said he was bulk buying a product from China using an escrow website where Chinese wholesalers, American buyers trade, just like AliExpress. After all negotiations was done and just after the payment was made, the supplier told him the money was paid to a wrong account. Reason they gave was that they got hacked and the scammers provided their bank account details and the money was paid into the scammer's bank account and not to the supplier. After the long exchanges, he still didn't get his money back, and this happened to him twice within a similar fashion but different methods, and were all transactions that has to do with escrow like Flippa, and that is why he won't like to go through Flippa. Received by author. She received it. That is a headache. But that is how they write. But, you know, we got the example of, like, the PayPal email, you know, the click here, you've won something example. If you do get an ebook version, you can click on some of these links for the scripts, or you may just have to type it and see if it shows up. Not sure if this is a text or if it's an email. T-Mobile network giving $900 reward on COVID-19 to all T-Mobile network users. You're free to claim the code and get your reward. Reply yes to claim your fund. Text message, T-Mobile network use only. Car warranty. Hi there, this is Shasta calling in regards to your Volkswagen warranty. The warranty is up for renewal, and I'd like to congratulate you on your $1,000 instant rebate and free maintenance and oil change package for being a loyal customer. Call me back at 1-800-I'm-a-Scammer to redeem now. Once again, that number was 1-800-I'm-a-Scammer. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And then in the back of the book, she's got all her resources. She knows what she's doing. She's got this going. If you want, check out this book by Hope OJ, Scam. I left the link in my description. I actually signed up for the affiliate program, so if you want to order from that link, that would be great. Being an affiliate, I wanted to make sure that what I would represent out there, I would stand by, and I definitely stand by this book. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video anytime, please like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell to know when I go live. I usually post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, ever so often a Sunday, sometimes it's a short. There may be a time or two with WrestleMania coming up, it may not be a short, but until next time, bye!